Hello and welcome back to Pine League Round 2, Day 2, and we are here in Match 2 of today. It's going to be Asli Enoch going up against Team Evo X. My name is Ira Questadu, and alongside me I have Eris.
Hello everyone, and looks like we have the lineup on your screen right now. As Enoch, we have Lord Dajjal, Son of Zeus, starting from zero, Ibak W, or we just pronounce him as Ibak, or rather Iqbal, IQ Iqbal. Alright, and Jet Quas, Vendizo, and on the side of Team Evil, we have Getarex, we have Sakin Sora, we have Optic Laser, we have Icy Bang, and we have Nom Nom, TNT, and Razy as well. So it looks like we're on the draft, so take it away.
Yep, so jumping into the draft, we can already see the Grumpjaw being picked up first for the side of Team Evo X. They've gone and banned out the Yates and the Magnus. Now, I'm always one to question the Magnus ban on first side because you can, in a lot of cases, force it to be open. Whereas we see the Kensei and Senfang ban on the side of Ashley Enoch. So
Right.
Kensei. It's interesting that they decided to ban that one out. Maybe it's a targeted ban towards Evo X. Don't know if they've been practicing it at all, but maybe they just respect it. It also allows them to get some stronger picks, like now that they've allowed Grumpjaw through to the side of Evo X, they are able to pick up Reza and Adagio for themselves. And there's going to be the Lance pick. We often see this alongside Grumpjaw. It's a very nice front line. And yeah, it's going to hopefully, it's gonna be top Grumpjaw and then could be jungle Grumpjaw. It's always a possibility, but probably top and support Lance in this case. And there's
Yeah.
gonna be Samuel mid. We did talk about this earlier in terms of who we thought were decent mid laners. Celeste was still open, Scarf was still open, and they choose to go for Samuel. So maybe it just plays into their playstyle, the AoE type damage that they have around the board.
I kind of see why they picked up the Samuel as well. Like Lance and Samuel combo is really good. They have the wall as well, and not only that, they have the Grumjo that provides a really good front line. So if they do pick up a Celeste Scarf, I mean that pretty works. But I'm guessing why they pick up the Samuel is that they want a lot more AoE control, and not only that, they have to sleep as well. So if they do manage to land the one more combo, I'm guessing that they're going to pick up one more hero with a decent amount of CC as well as being a carry. So if they do manage to lock in the Rhyme, then they have a lot of slow. Like, look at that. They have the Grumjaw, they have the Lance, they have the Rhyme. If they can get that three-man combo going down, then Samu is freed up to do all the damage he wants, not only on the front line, but he could just rotate throughout the entire map. And pick up a Ringo is pretty smart as well. So look at that. They can have four men just in the entirety of team fight and have they have Ringo on the top lane or rather the bot lane. Either way, they can just split
Swap
push as well. So
heroes?
having a Samuel means that they can go for a 4v5 fight without having the fear of losing out in terms of damage. Whereas on the side of Asli, they have to be worried about the fact that if Samuel does get to the late part of the stage where they have a lot of damage, then they have with because number one, they have to stop the split push coming out from the Ringo. They have the Samuel ultimate to do as well. But I guess we will see how it works out in the game. But as of now, I just kind of like the blue draft a lot more.
Yeah, Blue Draft looking fairly strong there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see Ringo after the update. Not sure if we've been able to see a peek at him yet, and also whether they decide to go for that CP Ringo or not. Didn't get too good of a look at Team Evil X. I mean, I
I
think it's
think,
Ashley Enoch on the red
yeah,
side.
correct.
Didn't
Yeah, I
get
think it's
too good of a
right.
look for them, but I saw Sky in there. Of course, I'm always gonna see Sky whenever someone picks her, but
But interestingly enough, though, like I'm not sure if you saw or not, but they do not. I think Ringo is going to go on a weapon, just because rhymes on CP. We're going to have Samuel on CP as well,
true.
unless they decide to go for a throw weapon rhyme. I don't think they would do so, but yeah, pretty much we were going to see a weapon Ringo probably on the bot lane. I think bot lane would do a lot better for Ringo this time round.
Yeah, that's more likely going to be the case looking at that draft and line up. Did you catch many of the picks going through for the side of Ashley Enoch?
I did manage to spot if I'm not wrong, a Celeste. I'm just so focused on Team Evoque's lineup because it was just working really well. Like every single one of the picks makes sense. So I was kind of excited to see how they're gonna put it off game. As for the side of Ashley Enoch, I'm not exactly sure what they picked up on their last pick. I do believe it was a Marlin.
Hmm.
That's going to be interesting as to how they work it out.
Yeah, I'll just go back here for just a second, see where we were at before. Okay, so the picks on the side of Ashley Enoch, at least before that last pick, whether it was the Maline or not, was Adagio, Reza, Celeste, and Sky. So, hmm,
Mm.
with that,
A lot of burst damage, but not a lot of mobility other than the sky.
Sky and
They have
Reza.
the res, yeah, they
Yeah.
have the res as well, so that's pretty good. But they don't really have a front liner, so depending on the last pick, which if they do lock in the Mali, then
Oh
I'd
yeah,
be
it
worried
was
for
the
them because
Maline. Yep.
yeah,
Yep. So it
they
was the
really have
Maline.
front line
So
there.
they're gonna
Yeah.
have to go with the same picks there. Once we get party started once again. Hmm. I am wondering how this will play out for them. Once again, I
Right.
think it's a
No
team
front
comp
line.
that has to play very aggressive and find the picks. But that's going to be kind of difficult. Where there's a lot of turnaround potential when you're dealing with the Rhyme, Grumpjaw, and Lance frontline, and then the AOE
Lance,
damage that's going to be coming in from like Empowered Malice and Verdict off of Samuel. So
like Lance will do pretty well against Reza if he gets the sweep as well. He's just gonna push the Reza right there, and with the rhyme, he's just gonna lock down the Reza. So I'm pretty worried for the side of Asli Enoch right now because if they do not pull off the Reza decently, then he's kind of taken out of the game. They don't really have anyone else they can dive in the back line. They do have the Sky, but I mean, you like Sky so much, so you kind of can figure where my concern is. Like without a frontliner, Sky does get caught up by Lance, then it's pretty much GG. But Sky should do pretty decently up to the late game where he could have a little bit of difficulty up against the Samuel. We could see that early game as well if Team Evox decide to go a lot more aggressively. But other than that, I don't really think there's any issue for the side of Team Evox to be worried about. Like I mentioned, the Samuel is really good. Like from the get go, at level 2, he can really start being really aggressive with the Drifting Darkness. So I'm just waiting to see how well, or rather how aggressive Team Evox play, and how Asli Enoch is going to deal with the Samuel in mid, as well as the Ringo going to go for split push when there's a team fight happening in top lane.
yep. And so we'll see now they're selecting the picks they had before. And yeah, it's tough to say. You have a very strong front line. The question is, hmm,
They have
really,
the Samuel. That's what I'm
yeah,
guessing that Team Vox is counting on. Like they're counting on the Samuel to do off a lot of, or rather most of the damage. And I've actually played with Optic Laser, like not only in 3v3 but in 5v5 as well. And he's a pretty decent Samuel, like to be fair. So if they do manage to pull this off, like they can get Optic Laser in the position he needs to be aggressive, and then they do manage to take out not only this Adagio, but maybe get a lot of damage on the backline as well, then they have a decent draft. The issue here that I forget what's the team name, but the
Ashley
red
Enoch,
side,
yeah,
let's right. If they do not manage to pick up the front line, if they do not pick up the Samuel fast enough, then Samuel kind of snowballs the damage that he does, and it's going to be bad because I'm assuming that he's going to pick up uh, a Frostburn as well. So the slow is going to not only hurt them, but look on the side of, rather, other than Reza and Sky, they have a
The
Marlene and a
battle for
Celeste who do not have
Sovereign's
a
has
lot of mobility.
begun.
A Daju as well. So other than the Marlene being able to dodge those spikes, or whether those damage coming off of Optic Laser, I'm not sure whether or not they have the mobility needed to really maneuver around the tanks of Evox to do the damage onto the Samuel. So that's kind of where the key deciding factor for both teams are going to be in team fights.
Yeah, I think looking towards like late game in these team fight situations, what we might need to be considering is the CC available to the side of Asli Enoch. I mean, early game they're gonna have the Maline's Binding Light, whatever it's actually called. I feel like that's Flicker's like ability, but you're gonna have the Maline A, the Core Collapse from Celeste, and then technically you'll have the Death from above. Ooh. One sec, as we see Nomnon going in deep into the enemy jungle, not able to secure that red, but they are going to be able to take the gold over away. So really, Asli Enoch should counter this one by going into the enemy jungle, but there's going to be the Hailstein from Zero, gets caught out by Optic Laser. So much damage down going with the Samuel, and they get out with a sliver of health. But we can see EvoX really just shrugging off most of that. Shows just how tanky their team is, even at level 2. And they really didn't lose anything out of that one. Their jungle's still standing, so fairly safe for now. But yeah, I was talking about when we get to this team fight stage, perhaps the Adagio could come in big. The only thing is, that's pretty much the main thing they have to use that block on, so either 1 or 2 Crucibles for that team is definitely going to be sufficient for them. So it's going to be pretty tough for Asli Enoch, even though on paper, like, their team comp could work out. I really think that they're just going to get overwhelmed by the front line of Team EvoX.
I'm not sure, because having the Samuel in lane is just means that they're gonna have a lot more sustain as well. Like Samuel's passive is just gonna allow him to stay in lane a lot longer. Oh, but look at talking about sustain. Look at that, Son of Zeus taking a lot of damage from Reggie, and he tries to turn it around. This is what you kind of get when you up oh, look at that. He's so close. One more hit, and first blood goes in the way of Evox. Oh my, what a fight right down there. Sky nearly got it.
Yeah, it was definitely close. Could have gone either way there. Sorry for my cameraman, my production quality right there.
The sky pick.
Yeah, I'm getting too distracted, but right now there's going to be an amazing gank coming through from that of the side of EvoX onto IQ. And now they've got the easy rotation into the enemy jungle, starting the weapon treant. Jet Quartz is there, he wants to try and secure it, but Nom Nom pushing it back for the rest of his team. Jet Quartz dives in, gets rooted instantly, and that's gonna be a kill going over to EvoX. They're probably looking for more, considering taking this gold oak. I mean, there's 4 of them there at the moment for the free situation, and there's going to be the boots in on Nom Nom, diving onto starting, gets the Githian wall against them, and I'm pretty sure, judging by the heal being on Optic Laser, they were the one to secure that gold oak. So a lot of favor going over to EvoX right now. You can see 10.3k over to 8. That's a 2k gold lead, and they take away the blue buff just to add insult to injury. And really starting to take the lead for themselves. A 2k gold lead at this point in time is so big. Oh my god, Nom Nom just gives Maline a little shove underneath the tower. It's going to be more than enough to help pick up that kill. So EvoX really taking control of the game already, and if this is how things are going to go, they're definitely going to overwhelm the side of Asli Enoch come team fight stage.
Pretty much, like Nom Nom at this point of time is just helping his team just eat up the rest of the opponents. No pun intended right there, but look at that, like 4 minutes in, 4 kills. This is the perfect start that Evox can ask for. They do spot out Nom Nom coming in from the middle lane itself with that scout cam onto the brush right there, and that should get cleared up pretty quickly. But at this point, look at the way that Samuel is just self-sustaining in lane right there. This is what I mean that's going to come out from Evox. Like, having a Samuel in lane means that he's going to be self-sustaining. He doesn't really need a lot of support from his captains, so he can just stay in lane, really bully the Celeste from level 2, and this is what's happening right now. Like, look at that, even Reza can't really get to him as quickly as possible, and while that is happening, they do manage to pick up the Adagio, and this thing is just starting to pop up for Asli Enoch as well. Look at that, the rotation's coming right in. Oh, trying to get the skip as well, but doesn't catch out. Marlene does a good job of getting away from that ultimate coming from Samuel, and it's just going to reset as well. This is going to get from bad to worse for the side of Asli Enoch, because look at that, Evox is just taking every single opportunity they have to go into the opponent's jungle and pick up not only the weapon trio, but more importantly the gold oak.
Yeah, and I was going to touch on that fact that you mentioned as we see Stein from Zero probably going to get caught out with the Impale. Gator-Rex just charges in there. Ooh, it is reminding me of a painful meta that kind of sprung up in EA where as soon as Rhyme kind of got that change to his kit where he could just go in and stun people up, and you can see Gator-Rex has gone with that exact build. He's gone for the Stormguard banner first and then gone directly to Journey Boots, and you can see Tear Free Boots being a lot being prioritized on a lot of the members. In fact, Crazy on the Grumpjaw as well as Optic Lasers going for his Halcyon Chargers first. I wouldn't be surprised if Nom Nom picks up some boots in a second, as we actually see Nom Nom rotating down to bot lane here. They might catch out Lord Dezhao. Gator-Rex runs in. There's going to be the root into the Impale. And we're going to try chase down, but luckily for Maleen, they actually had that moment of invulnerability shut down in the top lane as this is all going on. So there's a bit of hope for Asli Enoch as they pick up a kill onto that Grumpjaw. And oh, Maleen going to get caught out by Icy Bang on their way out. So yeah, it's just this really infuriating kind of team comp. And I was thinking back to with Samuel, it's not so much about like whether he's such a good mid laner or not, it's the utility he provides to the team. The fact that you mentioned he can be a solo mid, he doesn't need his support, allows Nom Nom to roam everywhere with Gator-Rex pretty much, and they're just able to pick up kill after kill.
This is just like I keep mentioning that it's gonna get worse, but that's the reason why you really want to Samuel in the mid lane, because as much as we've been saying that Samuel has fallen off a little bit with that nerf, he's still pretty strong. Like they don't have he does so well against the Celeste.
Oh,
like Celeste
no.
does. Oh, look at that top lane once again. Oh, he does manage to get his way out of it. That's good mechanics coming up.
They're just gonna let him go away. They're just focusing on the objectives right now, taking away that weaponry.
Look at the net worth at this point. 7 minutes in, we're gonna hit towards the 8-minute mark. But not only that, look at top lane once again. Look at the aggression coming right out of Evox. They do manage to take out the Sky. Oh, this is bad. Sky's just having a nightmare of the game right here. 0-3. And not only Sky, like almost every single member on the side of Enoch is just having a bad game so far.
Yeah, you're completely right on that point. It's man. Whether Nom Nom goes in first or Gator-Rex, whoever decides to, and the fact of the way that the Journey Boots work, getting that reset after you get that auto, they're just almost guaranteed every time for one or the other to hit their CC. And oh my lord, it's just got them so far ahead in this game. You pointed out the gold just before, currently reaching that 5k mark as they're 23.9 over to 18.5k. And look at this, Gator-Rex just turns around, it roots you, and then there's going to be the Impale coming through from Nom Nom. It's as easy as that. And they just leave Samuel to do his own thing in the mid, and Samuel isn't even struggling. Samuel has 71 CS, that's 10 over the Celeste, and he's managed to pick himself up the Spellfire and Halcyon Chargers, so he's sitting very comfortable. And look at this, even the fact that they can frontline so well, and just tank up that damage and put out the damage as well is just ridiculous. So, oh my, this is EvoX really know what they're doing with this team comp. When we saw the Samuel come out, like at first it didn't really click, but as soon as like it's put into play and you see the way that they spread out and the way that Nom Nom is rotating everywhere, pretty much as a second jungler, it is very effective in ganking these lanes, getting them ahead, and starting this whole snowball effect.
Yeah, Nom Nom is just allowing the whole of this team to put in place what their strategy really plays out. He goes for the cash, he goes for the Impale as well, and the moment he lands an Impale, like basically whoever gets caught with the Impale, it's pretty much, I'm trying not to say screwed, but you have to say like that's how hard, like with that Lance right there, you know how scary it is for Lance to just come
here's
in.
Gator-Rex, chill wins. They miss the Impale, but Razy is there with the stuff. They're going to be able to bring them into the backline of the team, and the damage coming out. I mean, Icy Bang being there on the Ringo, can't forget that. He already has a Sorrow Blade in his pocket as well as a Heavy Steel. So he's doing well for himself as well. You check the farm difference in that case in terms of bot laners. You've got the Weapon Sky, which I don't really agree with Weapon Sky. Icy Bang going to win that one out. Yep. And it's rough right now for them. Solar Storm.
This is a torture. not only that, looks like they're going to wrap up even more advantage right here. And I mean, Goldwing just came up. This doesn't look good for the side of Arsenal. Like, there's no way they can contest with this. They have a launch, they can push away from whoever coming. They have a Glamjo as well who's going to join on the rest of the fight. It looks like he might be going for it. He tries to pick up the Dago, and they don't even need the ultimate as well to get out of the fight. And they're going on to not only 2 members, but Reza really low right here. He has the ultimate, but he's just frozen right there. He's just gonna surrender.
Frozen with fear. There's gonna be the Valkyrie to even slow down the Celeste, help secure that kill. The amount of CC coming out from the side of EvoX. You have the slow on the Grumpjaw, you have the slow on the Rhyme, as well as the stun, or root, and stun if you land Valkyrie directly on them. You have the Impale, the Giphian Wall. If Samuel decided to build Frostburn, if he wanted to be super toxic, you have that. You have the slow coming out from Ringo, as well as the damage there. It's just all coming together for them right now. So,
like, I think, it's pretty weird, but I think not picking out the Marlene, but deciding to make this guy CP Sky would definitely be doing a lot better as well, considering how close range the side of EvoX really want to do so, but I might have to go
the AoE damage. The Oblivion, they get the triple sleep, and they're gonna go in with the Impale. It doesn't connect, but it doesn't matter. Grumpjaw gonna go down, however, as the Solar Storm comes out, so Asli Enoch able to collect on something right now. I'm not sure if Jet Quartz on the Reza is kind of possibly a bit tilted as he has gone AFK in base. I mean, I wouldn't hold it against him. If this happened to me, I would be wanting to break my iPad, and it has happened. I did mention when playing ranked against like people in Hyta and EA, it's happened before. It's just this change on Reza, Rhyme, I mean. But you don't see it so often because there's a lot of the time there's a lot of coordination that's needed to make this work. The fact that they have to be like, okay, mid lane, you have to be able to sustain yourself, and the jungler and roamer have to have good synergy when they go off to gank, as well as the top laner when it comes to team fights. So there's a lot that needs to go into it to make it like really happen, and I think that's why we don't see it so often, but it is definitely still there and shows how strong that change to Rhyme's kit was. I kind of am against it because it's like it takes away from the skill of having to land your abilities prior, either to put yourself in danger to get the auto and then chill wins them, or to land one of your spires, winter spires onto them. But yeah, Oblivion.
Adagio gets caught up.
Oh, nice route though onto the Grumpjaw.
Look at him once again. They try to look for the return right here, but Soul Storm just not enough damage as well. Oh, but it's the Ringo that will secure the kill, and look at that. The Samuel picks up the double kill for himself. There's absolutely nothing that Asbro can do as of yet. They have the Black Claw coming in the front line as well. That mid shoot is just so hard for the side for Celeste and Sky to deal with. Weapon Sky as well.
Oh my lord. We're just over 13 minutes in, and they have a 10k gold lead in their favor. Over 10k. 40.5 over to 28.7. And they're going to push into the base with this Blacklaw, looking to end it. Blacklaw at half health. Sky trying to 1v1. Icy Bang going very low. Probably going to lose that. Fountain comes out for the side of Asli Enoch, and they're able to take down the Grumpjaw as well as the Rhyme. They could hold on to this one. The base doing a lot of damage as well, but the Crystal going low, and that's going to be game number 1, 14 minutes in for the side of EvoX. Just pushing, I think that's all it took, one Black Claw, and they take the win. My lord, I mean, the fact that 10k ahead at that point in the game really says something. You could see that Frostburn I mentioned picked up by Optic Laser on the Samuel. I said if they want to be toxic or annoying, they could do this. And oh my, even the fact they went with 4 Stormguard banners for their team says we are looking to pressure you, we are looking to invade you, and they played on that from the start of the game. We saw them with the early invades putting the pressure on the enemy team.
Right, and look at the build that, or rather the Marlene is going on. AC on Marlene. I'm not sure whether there's a change in meta, but update me on this. I'm not sure if that's the best item you want to go for, especially on your first item as well. Marlene, she relatively has really low attack speed, and I'm not sure whether AC is the best to go for. I think Frostmoon would have done a lot better against a Ringo as well. Sure, like, is AC on Marlene a thing now?
Maline, I mean, I wasn't really much of a fan of the Maline pick, honestly. I was a bit surprised by it, if anything. Really, I think a frontline might have done them better. But Maline being the wait, no, Jet Court's being the jungler. Where did Maline sit? Was Maline that bot
Lane was
lane?
bot lane. Like he
Yeah,
was the bot
so
lane holding the ring.
that top lane in that sense, it's kind of hmm. Not too sure about that pick, honestly. I would have gone something else entirely. I just don't see Maline fitting into the meta right now. She has some CC, she has some escape opportunities, but you know, I think there's a lot stronger picks. And overall, I mean, hey, just the Evil X. It's hard to say what they could have done against that team comp. I think you mentioned one thing, CP Sky would have been a better pick. I
Right.
agree, not just because I like CP Sky, but I just think that is better. Um, Really, they needed something to maybe a Lyra to help counter that with the Bright Bulwark whenever they try dive in. That could have been strong, but you can see why Evo X decided to go for that Magnus ban at the start.
Yeah, like pretty much Magnus has to be better right now. Magnus really shuts down team fights, doesn't really allow space to, for your carries to stay behind your tanks, your supports, or rather your captains as well. So Magnus ban is pretty common, but like you mentioned, the pick on the Marlene wasn't really working as well. But more interestingly, look at the first item that, rather the second item that Grumjaw went after the Stormcat banner was a spell sword, which is a common item on Grumjaw, but the main reason why the Grumjaw picked up the spell sword was you want your cooldowns to be as low as possible. Grumjaw, you want to be able to gang as much as possible, and the top lane against a Sky, you want to close down the distance between the Sky and the Grumjaw. That's what you really want. So that was just good itemization coming out from the side of Team Evo X. But not only that, it's not about the items that's the key point. It's the rotations that Nom Nom TNT made and the pick on the Samuel that allowed Team Evo X to make the rotations that they did. Like Nom Nom was just going from lane to lane. He wasn't even staying in mid lane for quite some time. Like the Celeste 1 or 2 times. Pretty much that was it. Other than that, he was just going to top lane, bullying the Sky right there, just going to the bot lane to clear up a couple of wards. But more importantly, going into the opponent's jungle, taking away gold for them. And that's the key part. Not only are you increasing your goal lead on your end, but you're taking away the goal lead from your opponent, like starving them of jungle farm. And this just makes the Reza so what's the nicest way I can put it? Useless throughout the whole game. That was just the hardest part for Reza to deal with, getting farm taken away from his jungle, and there's not really much that his team can help him with though. Like, what do you expect a weapon Sky to do in the early parts of the game where he doesn't even have the Solar Blade up? So I don't really blame Asli Enoch for their performance. It was just the way Team Evo X rotated from lane and starving the farm. So in the second game, maybe they need better draft. I think that's the only way they can really improve coming out on game number one. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, as I said, maybe a counter to that kind of team comp. Either coming into the second game, now that they know what Evo X might throw at them, they could consider just banning out key components to that. Either you try and ban out the Lance or ban out the Grumpjaw, or even ban out the Rhyme. I don't know. Um, Thing is, yeah, I think banning out the Rhyme is kind of key. It's really the easiest kind of CC to hit in that whole kit and what made that come together. But they could still make it work fairly strong. As I said when we saw the draft initially, I saw the Lance and Grumpjaw, and I said those are two very strong picks together already. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes coming into game number 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Waiting for the party to get set up at this point, but yeah, pretty much straightforward fight right there for Team Evo X. Like they ran their comp pretty well. They were really comfortable in their draft, and just doing everything right that their draft needed to make it work. Draft wise, Asli Enoch could have picked up a couple of other heroes that better early game. Like they could have picked up. Hold on, let me think of what heroes could have really
Well,
done well then. Like
just to stop you there, something else they could have done in terms of early game was they didn't trade out any objectives. They just let Evo X take away their jungle. They tried to contest it, but looking at that situation, when you have such strong like CC and tanky heroes invading your jungle and they've already taken it, your best opportunity, and they even had the vision for it, would have been to invade the enemy red side.
Right.
Honestly, there if they tried to keep the gold even, they wouldn't have fallen behind as much. But I mean, I think it's still fairly inevitable just because of the strategy that they had behind that. Um, However, there were things that Asli Enoch could have done to play that one better in the early game.
But it's so hard for the side of Asli Enoch to even go for the counter jungle as well, because what they have is that a Ringo is going to be at the bot lane, and Ringo in the jungle clears are pretty fast as well. So even if the Reza decides to go for the red buff on the opponent's side, what you're going to have is that if he doesn't clear out the red opponent's red buff fast enough, he can find himself getting sandwiched between normal TNT, who's rotating down from the top lane alongside the um, what do you call that, Rhyme, and then suddenly you have a Reza that cannot take the red buff, and then he gets caught out as well. So I can see why it was so hard for Asli Enoch to really do the counter jungle. But good suggestion right there. I mean, that was pretty much the best shot that they had of getting a new farm from the side of Evo X.
Yeah, I mean, overall, at the end of the day, they kind of got outplayed in the draft. Was a big part of the loss. Just the fact that they got outdrafted, but then the fact that EvoX were able to pull off that strategy that I don't know why I didn't see it coming. When I saw the Rhyme pick, I mean, the thought of Rhyme sprung to mind, but I did not expect Nom Nom to be there all the time with Rhyme. I thought, oh, this will be very successful for ganking in the mid lane,
Right.
but they're just like, okay, Samuel, you're gonna be fine on your own. We'll go do
Yeah.
our thing. They started with invading the enemy jungle, which was really good to see, and they even got some kills out of it, I think, to start with, and then they continued that. They were very on time with their rotations and continuing to pressure that and push that, and it's why we see like there's probably the biggest like or earliest 10K gold lead that we've seen in this tournament so far.
Yeah, I'm just checking out chat at this point, and ooh, some of the comments are just pretty hurtful. But moving away from the comment section, yeah, just moving
Don't
away
don't
from the
worry,
comment
you're
section.
dude, bro,
Yeah,
Eris, like just honestly, you're doing awesome, and
it's about the
it's
sound. Like
exciting to be commentating with you. I
it's
feel
yeah,
like the conversation
the
really
sound.
flows. And I feel
The,
you. I have also
yeah,
been away
yeah.
from VG esports, like official esports and stuff, for quite a while. So it's nice to be coming back with a small tournament like this, and I'm sure you could empathize on this with me. That's good to be doing something for the SEA community, as toxic as
Definitely.
they might be at times. It's still the community that's our home, more or less. So we are
To
jumping
support.
into game number two, or yeah, game number two, match two of today. So the last game of today, in fact, we're gonna have Ashley Enoch over on the blue side and Evo X over on the red, starring bands Grumpjaw and Yates. So they decided to go for that Grumpjaw ban. Now the question is, what will that second ban be? They have the advantage being on the blue side that they don't have to ban out Magnus or anything like that. They could consider going for either the Lance or the Rhyme ban. I would probably go for Rhyme in that case, honestly.
Yeah,
Ooh,
pretty
but
much
they
like
go for the Ilva ban. Now, Ilva is interesting. It works kind of similar to Rhyme, but I think Rhyme is a lot easier to pull off with that stun when you get the
mm,
gank.
Rhyme has the lower skill,
Yeah.
rather lower mechanics needed to really pull off the combo. Like Eva's still really good as well, but
Oh,
I can see why they're betting on the Eva, like because they managed. Oh, Sunfirm, we could see some. Oh,
they just let Samfang slip through over to the side of
oh,
Evo X. Oh my. Oh my. Um, hmm.
hear from our voices that we kind of. What
You
is
know,
this draft?
I was thinking, alongside Lance, another hero that they could make work would technically be Tony Jungle. I mean, you run up and taunt them, it works in a very similar way. It's not as accurate as hitting, as you said, once again, Rhyme probably the easiest hero to CC with. But it's still
But
fairly easy if you boots right up to their face and taunt them.
honestly, like if you don't pick up the Grumjaw and you don't pick up the Sunfang as well, The other hero which I would like to pick out is Glaive. Like Glaive is such a forgotten hero, but think
True.
about it. Like if they're gonna pick up the lens, they have a Glaive that can take out a single member of the opponent's side, be it whether it's Sky or whether not. Basically, he just does really well, and he does the job that the Grumjoy needs. In the previous game, we saw Grumjoy catching on the Reza time and time again. In this time round, they have the Lance in the front line. They can have Glaive go to the back of Reza, push him against the wall. The Lance follows up with the Impale. He sweeps to the side, and you have a dead Reza. So pretty
Oh.
much the Glaive could have been possible as well.
What? We
So
completely forgot about the rhyme, and it looks like so did
Swap
Asli
heroes.
Enoch. They allow them to get the rhyme Lance combo yet again. Do I have to say it
this
here? I mean,
this
it's
is
I'm the
bad.
caster. I'm not gonna say it, but that is not really a good draft for the side of Asli Enoch, is all I can say. And Evo
Well,
X getting a
you're gonna say
very
week after week. I don't have to.
comfortable
So this
draft.
is a bad draft.
Yeah,
This is a bad
yeah.
draft.
I mean, I was gonna say other things, but that's about what we can say from this point of
Okay, so
view.
okay. I'm gonna give some hope to Asli. All you have to do
If they
is
make it to
use your
late game,
faith.
it's possible. I mean, they have the Celeste. They've got the Batiste now, so they're trying to make it that if they get dived on, hopefully Batiste would be able to use the Ordain to secure like a stun onto someone charging in. But that doesn't work if Batiste will be the one getting dived on. And then they just wipe him out of the team fight and move on.
But if
Finn,
you
when he
consider,
gets
okay, but
Quibble, could work.
they cannot run the Weapon Sky. Like
Yeah,
Weapon
yeah.
Sky
They
will
need to
not
go
work
for
this up.
CP.
Right. They have to go for, like they have to get the CP Sky up, and that's gonna do really well against the Rhyme, the Lance as well. You can dodge the Impale while still doing damage. You don't have to stay really close to your opponents as well. If you look on the side, they have a Kensei, Sanfeng, they have a Lance, Rhyme, all that really wants their opponents to get up close and personal. So what's gonna happen is that they need the Baptiste to have the fear, keep them away from the Sky, let him stack up those damage on Dragon's
The
Eye, and then
battle of
have the Celeste do
Siren's
backline
Rise
damage
has
as well.
begun.
So they can't afford to have a Weapon Sky here.
Well, you can already see the difference in builds. Being the triple Stormguard banners being picked up. Not sure if Razy is having a bit of connection issues right now, which would really ruin the plans for Evo X. I mean, the Lance is fairly key to helping follow up on a lot of those kills. So, not sure what Evo X might do here. Looks like might just play it out for now anyway. So, giving Asli Enoch a bit of hope in that sense. We will see that Lord Dajal, smart play here, moves into the enemy jungle, has the vision, but I think a Jet Court's coming up. Get caught out by that camera. Not really gonna matter as the rest of the team. You can see Sam Feng actually going into that bot lane, bot side of the jungle. Is going to be able to steal that weaponry, and so even trade out for them. And they're looking to take the Gold Oak as well. Question is Jet Court's going to be able to do the same as Icy Bang comes along?
Icy Bang
He's going to
comes
dive in with the Lotus Strike, and Jet Court's manages to do so. He has the Stormguard banner up and is able to get it, whereas we now see Razy joining into the game. They've picked up that Stormguard banner as well, so looking to play once again an invade heavy, objective focus heavy game style. Jet Court's possibly getting caught out there. We'll have the Troublemaker up in a second. They find the safety of Lord Dajal over the wall. So for now, it's alright, but will they see, yep, Nom Nom being chased down by IQ Val, making sure they know what's going on. Ooh, they just barely get the back there before Nom Nom reaches them. So it's an alright start in comparison to last game. Definitely a decent start for them.
Like this time around, you don't see a lot of aggression coming out from Evo X, maybe because it's some from Pig, compared to having the is it Rhyme? No, not Rhyme. Compared to having the Grumjoy pick right there, but not the oh, the burst coming from
Lord Dajal winning this one out. He might even go for the 1v2. Needs to be careful of the fortified health on Nom Nom there. And not far away was Gatorex on that ram. He's going to just run in there, bootsing in already to pick up that kill for himself. So 1 for 1 at this point in time.
Yeah, but at this point, like look at bot lane, like the way that Jet Quartz is just going to the bot, making sure that Sky can farm out as much as possible. I'm not sure if
it's gonna be that weapon Sky again. Oh, but something different coming out is this time that put Sam Feng in the mid lane and put Razy in the bot lane. I'm not sure if this was a change of plans due to the fact that Razy came in late, but it's really, I wonder if it's going to be as effective just having Rhyme running around on his own, as Razy's really going to have to stick up in this top lane. Do you think that maybe if they put Sanfeng in the top, well, I'm saying top because from Red side perspective as their top, would it be as effective? But right now, EvoX making good rotations into the enemy jungle. They almost able to steal the gold oak, but good core collapse coming out from Stein from Zero to avoid that. Meanwhile, Jet Court's up in the top side there. Let's see, he's got the red buff for himself, so doing a decent job there to invade. And this is, maybe they were listening on the tips we told them that they need to make this work out. But so far, they're correctly trading out jungle, 10 to 10k, 10k each, you know, even at that point. One kill in favor of EvoX. Jet Court's able to escape that one. So things looking a lot better for Asli Enoch this game.
Definitely, like you mentioned, they're just going for the counter events at this point. They have the Baptiste, who's doing pretty well against the Rhyme, and as I speak, we could see the Gather falling really low, but the Jackpot gets picked up by the Kensei right there, and Icy Bang will get ganked out coming up for starting from 0.
Ooh, but here comes the rest of EvoX.
Return fight right here, Optic Razor already having that level 5, but no ultimate means he will have to back off to the mid lane and continue up some farming.
Yep, so right now, I mean, slight kill lead in favor of EvoX, slight gold lead, a 1k gold lead over to them. But Varelli, as we see in the bot lane, Garex with the gank, can Sky get out there? They manage Surrey Strike and boots away. Son of Zeus will be safe for now. But I think they thought they were backing. There they go, they're going to be backing now. And we'll see. Yep, once again, they're leaving Optic Laser alone, so Sanfeng is roaming around a fair amount, but I would question, as I did before, ooh, Sanfeng able to get the stun off. I guess it works if the enemy attack you, but it's not going to be as reliable as, say, if they have the Lance roaming around. But I think that isn't too much of an issue for them. Right now, instead, they're playing the more objective focus game, as you can see, always in the enemy jungle. Gatorex looking for the Gold Oak, but Stein from Zero once again stealing it. Manages to get the core collapse. There's going to be the Quibble coming in big. Jet Quartz goes in for the chase. Oblivion not going to stop them, and they manage to pick up the kill. Now moving on to Optic Laser. Racy is very low HP, finding themselves in a dangerous situation, and they're going to get picked off. So a few mistakes coming out here from EvoX and a few things done right coming out from Asli Enoch. So looking good, holding the game even in terms of gold and kills.
Yeah, definitely, but more interestingly, they're going for the weapon Sky.
Dejao. Oh no, Dejao finding himself in a bad situation. He has the Fearsome Shade, but he uses it the wrong way. If only he had sent it the other way, he might have caught them all out. That red buff gonna be for nothing as it gets traded back over to the enemy team.
But more importantly, look at bot lane right now. Reza piling up the pressure right here, and with the weapon Sky, there's nothing that Razy can do on this lens as well. He's gonna be getting tagged so low. Look at the tracking coming up from Son of Zeus. They're trying to track it, trying to kill him as fast as possible, but you don't see a return coming right in. There's no support coming from the rest of EvoX. So, support.
Gatorex, no.
Gatorex me. Here it is, the bait. Jackpot on the bot lane. They're gonna give up not only Reza, but really this means that Son of Zeus could find his way out of here right as well.
Oh no, Jet Quartz gets caught in the chill winds. Might go down here, should have a troublemaker to get out to the safety of his tower. Son of Zeus should not turn around at this point, as Garex still nearby. But they managed to get out safely and managed to take that tower for them. So that's actually the first tower or tower of the game going over in favor of Asli Enoch. So I was really thinking that if EvoX were able to take that, they would probably snowball off the back of that, but Asli Enoch holding up surprisingly well. And maybe we luckily casters cursed them when we thought we looked at the draft once again. We were like, this isn't good for them. But I think it really comes down to the fact that Razy isn't doing the same rotation with Gatorex that we saw before that helped them secure kill after kill.
Oh, that was a good fight coming out here. Baptiste tries to go for it, but talking about going for it, look at the middle. Oh, Call Collapse coming right in. Doesn't really land, but look at Giant Squad. He tries to go together. Look at the Bird's damage that Reza's putting right here. He has to Troublemaker in top of it. Oh, but the root comes in, and it is
Oh,
Optic Laser that will get the return kill onto Reza as well. 2 kills going in the way of Evo X.
well, that chilled winds was such a clutch there to save him, as Reza was just about to either dive on him or use another Scorcher on him to pick up a kill, but he manages to get to safety. And Samuel was there. Good rotation up to support his team. But right now, kill lead
Nice.
starting to go in favor of Evo X once again. But for the most part, the game could really go either way. If Athlete Enoch are allowed to get into a safer position, we talked about this in the draft of what can they do with the team comp they have for them. Celeste is really key, I imagine, as well as Reza trying to balance out this early game. You can see so far Jet Court's doing a pretty decent job being around the map where he needs to be, helping put the pressure on where he needs to. And now Nom Nom trying to rotate up to the top where we see the rest of the team. Meanwhile,
Oh,
it
okay.
looks like Evo X going for Ghost Wing, so top lane is actually just a distraction, and they're able to hold it off fairly well. Not sure if anyone's going to catch that out, as in a second, Ghost Wing goes over to the side of Evo X, and Icy
Oh, look
Bang
at that.
going low, manages to pop a low strike out of that one, actually. It's going to get caught out in the Ordained, and here comes Stein from Zero, but they're dodging left and right. It's not going to be enough 1v4. They go down, but as we said, Ghostwing in favor of Evo X. Now, target lock is on Gator Rex there, so Son of Zeus might be able to make a play, but they're being forced back right now. They have a potion. They need to be very careful with Gator Rex when he goes in. He has another charge on his boots, is able to follow up on that, but the Valkyrie's going to miss. Son of Zeus staying alive for so long. Do they have... they don't have the breaking point yet. If they did, it would have been big for them. They probably would have been able to win that fight, maybe even get a 1v2 in that situation. Over to top, we see Lord Dejal and that of IQ Bao very low. Forced to back. Not sure if that's a good time to back, as Icy Bang starting to push onto the tower. There's going to be the Black Company, but nope, Kensei does not care. He's just going to cut right through that.
Yeah, definitely. I see Bang over here on this Kensei. He looks so comfortable as well. Like 5 and 2 and 10-minute mark. He has 61 CS up against a Baptiste who's not doing the best farming as well. 24 CS is compared to 52. Oh, but look at his Gator Rex with the boost as well. He tries to go in, but that was just burning his boots away.
And now he's not going to get the quick reset off of the auto that he usually would. Back to top, Icy Bang. Kind of low at the moment, but Lord Dejal just gonna hold it there. We might see Son of Zeus getting caught out. Another gank as Raziu goes down, and Nom Nom alongside that, but he's able. Sky being fairly versatile in this game. Lord Dejal getting caught out actually as Solar Storm comes through, and there's going to be the core collapse time from Zero going in big, and Jet Quartz helping pick up that kill onto the Kensei. So, Athlete Enoch, I think, actually winning that one out. There's actually 1 for 2, and they're going to be able to get the top tower out of this. But meanwhile, once again, Evo X not really letting it go to waste. Optic Laser is going to go down. They don't get the top tower, but it looks like the rest of Evo X managed to pick up the red buff in most of the jungle. As we said, Evo X playing a bit more objective focus this game, trying to steal what they can. But they're behind in gold at this point in time. 31.5k on the side of Athlete Enoch over to 29.6, and a tower is just going to increase that gold lead for them.
I definitely like the Sunflower pick was supposed to do a lot better for the side of Evo X, but it seems like it's slowing down the rotation quite a little bit. He's not as effective as the Lance rotating around. They could have just put him in bot lane to deal with Sky as well. Like, he's pretty tanky by himself, so I'm not sure. Like, having the Lance rotating in the first game was definitely doing a lot better. Like, they were getting a lot more kills as well as jungle rotations coming in. But with the Sunfang in mid, I'm not exactly sure what's his role at this point. Like, is he a ganker? Is he over there to protect baby Sid as well? Or look at the damage coming right in from Nom Nom TNT. Like, starting from zero.
The lack of damage, actually, as the turnaround here. Oblivion's going to drop, but that's going to be Lord Dejal falling. as the rest of Evil X managed to back them up. And looking down into the bot river, as we see there's going to be Reza getting caught out. Evil X starting to have a good run for themselves in this team fight. Core Collapse not going to land either, and there's going to be the Celeste to fall after that, one after another, picking them off. And it really comes into the fact that although the Sam Feng pick is like, it's good, and there's a reason Sam Feng gets banned, because when it gets to these team fight situations, you can't avoid hitting the Sam Feng. It means they did have that slower early game that we mentioned, the fact that he has to get his stun triggered, like now as he tries to dive in there, and he's going to turn around on the rest of the team. Blacklaw going to go over to the side of Evil X, who started up. They catch out the Batiste, but can he get away? They managed to pick up the Finn, and a good route onto the Reza. Looks like he could be lagging there. Actually stood still for quite a while. And now this is going to be Blacklaw pushing down onto the mid tower. Should be a chance for Evil X to really turn this game around. And there's going to be the route onto Celeste. They managed to block out the Chilled Winds, though. Turn around with the Solar Storm. Doesn't connect onto anyone. And once again, Evil X just kind of backing out, playing this one safe, going for the Ghost Wing.
Look at that, Kensei doing the job of the Ringo in the previous round. Going to do some split push while the rest of the teams are right in the middle of it. Like I said, Samuel is the only hero that can really do kind of function the way that they want the team fights to happen in a 4v5 situation. They can have one top laner or bot laner pushing out right here. And this is what Evil X are doing right now. They're getting more comfortable with the rotations. Finally, their Samsung is kind of working out towards the middle part of the game. I kind of mentioned at the start, like Samsung really slows down the rotation, and you reiterated it as well. So glad to see that Evil X is trying to pull off on him. But more importantly, Ismael still has a chance in this game. Like, they have to get those pickoffs onto Samuel. If not, he's just going to snowball. Look at that. He already has his...
No. And they take...
doesn't let it go.
Yeah, they take the bot lane without any hesitation, really. And this is where you mentioned before that Evil X are starting to kind of go back to the rotation they had before, allowing the Kensei as solo, Samuel as solo, and then they just have this free man rotation. It actually... I don't know if I can say, I mean, it's a small tournament. It doesn't matter if I mention other games. It reminds me of something I saw when I casted AOV once, this free man kind of rotation and just overpowering the enemy with that. So it's kind of interesting to see it happen now, that they have the freedom to rotate thanks to the towers being down. Sky going very low. I'm surprised Raziel not going in with Impale. They go onto Finn, not the best choice, but there's going to be the turnaround as Batiste picks up a kill onto the Rhyme. Samuel, meanwhile, on the backline, putting the damage down. Kensei trying to jump in. The front gets caught out, and there's going to be the path of Verona to get the double stun and the big wombo combo into the Sam Feng, but they managed to trade him out still. Celeste putting the damage down as we move into this late game. Celeste hitting that level 12. They need to respect it if they're not going to be able to take her out of the fight early. So actually a 2-for-2 trade out, and fairly even in that sense.
Not only that, like Optic Laser is just farming up more and more. Celeste taking so with it, but more importantly, look at the team fight, the AoE control that the side of Evil X has in the team fight, especially with Samsung inside in the middle of the entirety of that period of time. They have the Lance as well, the sweep really catches the Baptiste away, and this just means that the Reza can dive in with the Ram as well. So pretty much on the side of Evil X, they have every single hero that can not exactly a counter, but deal really well with the lineup that Ismael has. But more importantly, like I mentioned in the previous fight, if they do not take out the Samuel, they can't really have a clean team fight. They can't really take out the damage dealer on the side of Evil X. And talking about damage dealer over here, Samuel might just get caught out, but they're telling right over here.
Oh, the turnaround!
He's trying to break his way right here, but Soulstorm comes right in. Removes Samuel immediately from the rest of the team fight. And suddenly Evil X find themselves lack of damage, but they're not backing off as of now. They have the Kinet, or rather they have the Kensei right in the middle of it. Tries to go on to the back. No fear available for him. They do manage to take him out, down to half HP. But look at that, Sanford right in the middle of it. He does catch 3 men out right there. Rhyme takes out the Baptiste as the prolonged team fight coming out of Kensei. But he's definitely healing up with that. And they remove 4 members on the side of Ismael. And Reza is the only man standing. It looks like they will be taking the Black Wing as well.
That Samfang ultimate so big, and the problem there was that Asli Enoch really left their Celeste alone. Celeste was just being chased down by Kensei. You can see how Finn is kind of coming a bit more into play now that his Quibble is overdriven and he's able to stun the enemies out. And it's that AoE stun that's available to him, but you just need a bit more focus. Maybe Batiste needs to be nearby Celeste as well to make sure that they're able to get anyone off of them, maybe put Ordained onto Kensei so he gets stunned out, and then there's an opportunity to pick him up. Because we saw in that previous fight to that one, where Kensei went in deep, he got picked up, but obviously traded out in the end. It's just overall that, yeah, that's kind of bad positioning for Asli Enoch. It started off good when they caught out the Samuel, and they're trying to snipe the Ghost Wing, but still going to go over to the side of EvoX. So now they need to be careful to not really engage with EvoX for a while. Try and let that Ghost Wing buff fade, as we see it happens a lot of times. But EvoX might be looking to be proactive, looking to be aggressive, and try and make a fight happen. I mean, they have the team comp for it. They're more than likely going to be ready to boots in at a moment's notice, especially if Stein from Zero is all alone in the spot lane. I wouldn't hold them on it, as there's going to be Samfang with the engage. Garex follows up on that with the root, and they are gone within a second. Death from above doesn't even catch anyone, as they are out of there. And now they have the advantage. Nom Nom TNT once again going to go in. Samfang just having that stun up so often, and it shows you why you have to ban him out. That's going to be another one falling for the side of Asli Enoch. And EvoX going to take 2 kills and a tier 2 tower and back out of there.
That was just good team fight coming out from EvoX right there. They made sure that they do not, or rather, I'm not sure whether or not it's a good trade coming right in. Like, they have the Baptiste in the top lane pushing away the rest of the creeps, and they don't really have the lockdown that they need onto the Kensei as well. So they need to lock down IC Bang, not allow him to get into the back line, and this is right now the #1 priority that the blue team needs to deal with. Like, the frontliners of EvoX are just so tanky that they can't really get onto the Kensei and Samuel. And it's kind of like a mirror match that we saw in the previous game as well, but it looks like they're setting themselves up for another team fight there. From Reverb doesn't really land, but they could be able to get the turret. They do manage to turret. Samfang going for the start right there, but the Samuel ultimate doesn't get landed as well. Did they use the Crucible? No,
I think they just stepped out of it. I think it's very close, but they stepped out of it. I mean, you can see Crucible is still up on IBKill. And a good idea to save that one, especially next time Samfang goes in for that ultimate. They need to be ready to block out the stun on the pull, and the pull on that, really, to not get that team all grouped up together. Because that's very dangerous for, 1, the Kensei, 2, the Rhyme, because I'm pretty sure he can AoE root with that, as well as, there's so much. It's pretty much everything is going to be dangerous if you get put in that situation. If they don't block out, chances of them surviving after the fact is very low. There's going to be more treads to go in, and Samfang, popping off of a stun start with Death from above in a very good position to hold the enemy team away. Solar Storm comes in big. Icy Bang in the front line and is caught out between the whole enemy team. Needs to be careful, but trying to cut down the sky. They managed to find it. There's going to be the Samfang ult, and it doesn't get blocked out. And now big as Reza gets taken out, and Batiste left alone. The double kill. All but Celeste is left standing, and they are going to go down soon or later. Triple kill for Gatorx on the Rhyme, and Ghost Wing just about to come up for them. So EvoX, I talked about it just then. They had to block out that ultimate coming through from Samfang. And they have to really worry about that Kensei. It shows how strong Kensei is. I mean, right now, you got IC Bang, 13, 5, and 8. Pretty good. And it's good to see Kensei back in the meta. Honestly, I don't mind it. I think he's a very strong hero. You just gotta be careful with the balancing of him, because when he did come out, he was a bit too strong.
Pretty much like I said, you know, rather when he first came out, he was instant ban every single game because he was just the barrier keeping him alive. Even for range heroes, he can really keep up. Bro, look at that. The Rover comes right in, but Samfang needs a bit of fight. He wants to use his ultimate. He will catch all 5 members on the side of Israel. And look at that. damage that Kensei is dealing onto Celeste will get taken off the fight. Samuel will get knocked down as well. But it's the Baptiste that will force Skyforce as well. And all they have is the Reza and the Finn. But what can they do? They have the Dragon on their end as well. Black Fog right here gonna push back in. Triple kill for Icy Bang.
Just look at how the
And
Kensei cuts through the Finn. And they're just going to push onto the base, taking game number 2. Unless Jet Quartz can pull off an amazing Penta, there's going to be the TP boots coming out from Nom Nom, and the Dragon finishing off the Crystal. Game number 2, going over to Evo X. You could see why maybe, I believe in that first game, Asli Enoch actually banned out the Kensei, but now they have bigger threats to focus on, such as the Grumpjaw. Either way, it was a tough game, but a much closer game for Asli Enoch. They really played well at the start. How to even took the lead at some points, but once Evo X got going, once they got that 3-man rotation of the Finn, Rhyme, and Samfeng, the fact that they even have Samfeng on their team, the best advice I can give to anyone playing against him if he manages to slip through the draft is that you just try your best to not hit him. But in a team fight, that's very difficult. So
it's hard. But one question though, like, why are they persisting with the weapon sky? Like, it's so hard to make the weapon sky work in not only the first draft but this draft as well, because she can't really keep a distance between Kensei. Kensei has his second skill to get onto the sky. It's not exactly the best hero to deal with Sanfeng as well, and not only that, they have the Rhyme that can catch her immediately. So I'm not sure why. Like, what is the logic between Weapon Sky?
yeah, well, either way, in the end, GG well played. I think Asli Enoch, they took a lot of lessons from that first game. They really tried their best into the second, but once the fact that the Rhyme Lance combo was still there alongside Sam Feng getting through to that team, the draft was very much in favor of Evo X. So, yep, GG, well played. To both teams and to all the teams that played today. That's going to end round 2. So looking at an overview of today's games, we had KDA go up against Neko Faction, and that was 1-for-1. Very close games there. Crazy second game, in fact. And then, as you just witnessed, Asli Enoch going up against Team Evo X. Team Evo X taking that 2-0 with their that Rhyme Lance strategies. That's what I'm going to have to call it. At the base of it, that's what it comes down to. We'll see in next week if any teams are really able to counter that one and what they might do against it. But speaking about next week's matches, if you give me just a second, bring up the schedule. We will have round 3. So round 3 is going to be Team Siren. You guys won't be able to see this on screen. We don't have graphics for it yet, but Team Siren going up against Neko Faction for our first match. So Team Siren, I believe, currently at 0 points. Neko Faction after today at 1 point. Upholders going against Evo X. There might be a change with that. We'll have to see whether Upholders are still in this tournament. And Evo X, well, they just played for you there, so I'd be worried if I was in Upholders' shoes right now. So we have Team KDA this is for Sunday's matches. We'll have Team KDA against Astral Esports, and then Asli Enoch against Fearless. So if you're looking forward to those matches, come back next weekend. And after that, we will in fact have the top 4 teams in week 4 moving on to what will be our semifinals and our third place and finals match. But that's going to be it for from us today. My name was I Requested All. Joining me was Eris. Eris, anything you want to say to the viewers?
I love you guys.
So with that, that's going to be us, and hope to see you next time. Till then, do take care, and yeah, good night. Thanks for watching. Peace.